Welcome to BuffaloNews.com. I'm John Vogel here with Mike Harrington in Key Bank Center, where the Sabres just introduced Jason Botterill as their 8th general manager. Last time we were in this building, Terry Pegula talked about discipline, structure, communication, and character. When Jason Botterill stepped up to the podium, it looked like that's what he brought.
He really did, and he even threw a structure out there very quickly in his press conference. Jason Botterill's a different kind of guy than Tim Murray. Tim Murray was a rink rat. He loved scouting, maybe not as polished as I think the Pegulas wanted. Jason Botterill is an NBA guy from Michigan, really an expert in the salary cap, a former player. It's a different kind of feeling for the GM. That was a pretty positive first impression for a news conference. News conferences don't necessarily mean a lot, but he certainly indicated some things he wants to do here. He wants to have a better prospect pool. He wants to win in Rochester. He wants to have a good group of assistant GMs, and he's going to have to learn a lot about this organization and the players in it.
Terry Pegula spoke first as he introduced him, and you could tell he was impressed by Botterill's resume, just rising from a player in college who won at the junior level, who had success in the National Hockey League, an executive. You can tell Terry was just impressed he had the right candidate.
He had the right candidate in his mind for sure, and I think something else that really is left unsaid at times that is very important is Jason Botterill's family background. When you think about his mother being a former Canadian Olympian, you think about his sister Jennifer, one of the great stars of modern Canadian women's ice hockey, his father, a famous sports psychologist in Winnipeg. So Jason Botterill's had a lifetime in sports, and as he grew up as a player and then he became an executive, and it's really a unique background for a guy to become an NHL GM. He's 40 years old. He's the second youngest GM in the NHL. The Sabres have a rising star in the executive ranks now. That's something they've never really had before.
Botterill said it was a dream come true to become a general manager, and to do it in a place where he played was extra special. He wants the players who are here now to take the pride in the logo that he saw people take when he was a player.
And, he had some stories to tell. His first roommate here in the Sabres was Ryan Miller when he played back with the Amerks, and he understands the work that needs to be done here. He loves the fact they have Jack Eichel and Ryan O'Reilly, two key centermen. He loves the fact they have Ristolainen on defense, but they have a lot of things they have to figure out. Which players are coming and going, the expansion draft. The Combine is here in Buffalo in short order. This guy is going to be busy, busy, busy with all the things he has to do. And oh, by the way, he better figure out who he's going to hire as a head coach. That's going to be really job number one. But that may take a while, maybe even past the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, he did say he would like to have a coach in place by the draft. He's going to interview as many candidates as he can until he finds the right person. And the person will want to have the same philosophy he has, where he wants to build an up-tempo team, a puck possession team. And the players who didn't always see eye to eye with Dan Bilesman would have to like to hear what he said today.
They did, but again, as I say, we don't judge too much in press conferences, because if you remember, Dan Bilesman's press conference was all about puck possession. And did we see puck possession on this team in the 2 years under Dan Bilesman? We did not. So you take certain things with a grain of salt, but you understand that Botterill has built a team that won at the minor league level at Wilkes-Barre Scranton for the Penguins, and a lot of those guys are playing right now and contributing on a Stanley Cup team. That's what he wants to build here. That's what this organization has really lacked, depth throughout, and that's something they're going to need to fix. Cap crunch is tight. Prospect pool isn't big right now. He's got a lot of work to do, but certainly it was a good start.
Unlike Terry Pegula, when the owner took control of the Sabres, Jason Botterill did not promise a cup in 3 years. He said they're going to try and win. They want to win, but you never know what's going to happen. There could be injuries. There could be other things. While he made no promises, he wants to win. The Sabres haven't made the playoffs in 6 years. The Amerks are in a 3-year run and haven't won a series since '05, I believe it is. He wants to establish a winning culture as soon as possible.
He said, we expect to be better. Well, in certain ways, that wouldn't be hard from what we saw certainly the second half of this season. But they understand. I think right now, the Sabres went 7-3-2 this year against the 4 teams that are left in the Stanley Cup playoffs. There really was no excuse, even with the injuries, to be a 78-point team. So I think Botterill knows he's got a few things he can start working on right here. And he even said, I have a few ideas from afar what happened here. So it'd be interesting to see what he learns when he does some interviews with these players and what he learns about building a coaching staff to try to bring this thing together, because come September, they're going to be ready to go.
With the GM in place, there's plenty more to come, so stick with us at BuffaloNews.com, and thanks for joining us.